Hey guys, welcome to my live stream of my Joker review. I finally got to see the movie this weekend, and it was amazing. If you can definitely believe the hype, I will say, about this film. It was beautifully shot. It was a great, just there was a lot of things happening in this movie that I really, really love and would make it a perfect companion piece to, say, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, um, where that recreated old school Los Angeles and Hollywood. Joker recreates 1970s, early 80s, more along the lines of 1970s, um, late 70s New York. There's grindhouses. Hi, Zen. There are grindhouses. There's the dirty, scrummy, uh, old New York there, and there's like littered with that within there are little nods. Like there's a Wolfen poster hanging on a wall in a movie theater. There's there's a very awesome. I thought I was the only one that remembered this movie, but apparently Todd Phillips remembers it as well. The movie Zorro the Gay Blade is utilized in a very key scene. Um, Joaquin Phoenix is amazing in this. Um, I don't really need to go into the details of the plot, but I'll give you a very brief rundown. It is basically the origin of Arthur Fleck, who may in fact be the Joker, or he is the inspiration for the Joker that comes. As we know, DC has numerous universes and things, and we're going to be seeing that in Crisis on Infinite Earths. Oh my God, this is, by the way, that's going to be so amazing. But you'll see these different universes. And how they come to be, different origin stories, different Jokers. They actually have continuity in the comics now, where they're the Jokers. There's like 8 or 7 of them that are from different universes. So Joaquin Phoenix Joker, Arthur Fleck. We learn, we see him become the Joker in this, and he starts out as an adult. You don't see there's no childhood story shown, but we do get his history, and it's horrible. There's a lot of outcry about this movie, but I don't think it is deserved, in that it's glorifying things and going to inspire people to be psychopaths. In this film is very, very, very dark, and it takes its cues from dark films like Taxi Driver, like The King of Comedy, and those movies. And the subject matter is not a kiddie film. It shows, like a lot of films have done, like Watchmen, um, Superman movies. The thing is, comic books and comic book films. Yes, it is. Hi, Betty. But it shows that comic book movies don't have to be kiddie fair. I would say that you've seen this in Deadpool, which, by the way, uh, one of the actresses from Deadpool is in this, which is hilarious to me, and I was calling that out. But Zazie Beetz is in this as the supposed love interest of Arthur Fleck. She played Domino in Deadpool. Deadpool isn't a kind of movie that you would want your kid to see. Joker is for sure not something you want your child to see. It is a dark character study of how this person, this man, becomes the Joker, and how society. It's very timely, and that's why they did it. How, if society ignores a problem and ignores people, and the elitist groups above us, which you're seeing a lot of right now, and you're seeing within the government, and within on the news, you'll see it within the presidency and all of that. It's not a big surprise. My day is going great, Betty. Thank you. Um, this movie tackles that subject in an extreme way where and it also is a nice little history study on New York back in the 70s. New York in the 70s was a very, very, very dangerous place. It was filthy, it was gross. There was murders everywhere, robberies, just not a nice place to live. So the Gotham in this film is based around what was going on in New York in the 70s. And it was just a cesspool. It was not a clean, nice place to raise your family. There was a lot of things happening there. One of them was the Son of Sam killings. So it's a character study of New York at that time. It's a character study of here and now, and how we're treating people, and how it's there's an issue in this world that we live in right now where we are ignoring the warning signs, and we're ignoring people that need help. And that's what sets off partly what sets off Arthur Fleck's journey into becoming the Joker. And I don't believe the outcry for this. In fact, the people that are saying this is how horrible a film are either not watching the movie, or they completely miss the point. Uh, it's just a really well done film. And I mean, Arthur Fleck isn't a hero by any stretch. He is a symbol, if you will, of what is wrong in society. And he's sort of a hapless victim in a lot of ways. So one thing I have to show you guys before I go on is I went to the premiere of my film In Search of Darkness that I produced. And the one thing I bought while I was there, I hadn't even seen the movie yet, but I just love this image. And there's a lot of really cool fan art coming out from this movie. And this is like the best thing. So, of course, it looks like a playing card. And you see him sad. You see him crying. He's destroyed here. Frown. You flip it. He's found who he is, and he is happy. I love that. So I don't know who did this, by the way, but it's great. So in the film, as we watch Arthur, he's at the mercy of the powers that be, be it his mother, who you found out some very bad things about. There's some spoilers here. I'm not going to lie. But if you watch Zinnies too, see who, we can, it's a good point of view there, good point of view here. So you've got Zinni's point of view, and you got mine as a chick. So, but if you, he is a hapless victim in this. He's at the mercy of his mother, and he is also at the mercy of the society that is allowing him to get the help he needs, even though it's not enough help. And so I'm watching this, and it's like it's so timely and perfect for now. They kind of they didn't really even do this in Gotham, which had a very similar thing with the two brothers. Who's the real Joker? Neither of them. Who knows? I don't know. That whole thing was so crazy and convoluted. But this is pretty straightforward, and there's no other focus really other than Arthur. And as you watch, it's a really amazing acting job and story that you're seeing with Joaquin Phoenix and what the script does, because as he's slowly having his medication taken away from him, that's keeping him even somewhat sane. And as he has that taken away, he wakes up. not for the better, really, and as we see, but you see him emerge from this beaten, um, beaten person that he is with no power, kind of dumbed down, and uh, you see his uh, intellect come to light, and he observes and he sees what's going on. And that great scene in the trailer is an even better scene in the film, where he's talking to his therapist, his city assigned, local therapist, social worker, and he is telling her, all I have are destructive thoughts. And that's the scene that sold me on him being the Joker. I wasn't I was sort of like, I don't know, man. I don't know about Joaquin Phoenix. I don't know. The shadow of Heath Ledger is long and looms forever. But that was his own Joker. I've learned now to be okay with it. And Joaquin brings this. He's really good at showing insanity and darkness without having to talk. But that scene with the therapist is beautiful because you see him emerging, and he tells her in that scene, when you see the full scene, you don't listen. You sit there, you repeat the same stuff, you repeat the same shit, but you're not hearing it. You're not seeing me. You don't care. And so as that's going on, you see that he's woken up. He never would have said that before. And as he goes along, his intellect comes out, and it's not for the best for everyone around him, but he has found his true self, with the Joker. And as he goes, there's this whole thing about dancing, and you see his freedom now comes to him because he's got nothing left to lose. There's nothing, he's free, and there's a freedom, and the whole dancing thing becomes beautiful. Like that whole scene with the stairs, he's more graceful, he's unafraid, and he's smart. And so towards the end of the film, he really becomes complete. And it's, even though he's broken, he's whole, if that makes any sense. He's broken, but he's whole. He is what he was supposed to be as the Joker. And it was society that made him. And for the not, society just let this happen. And it's very telling to what we have now going on in this world and the things that have been going on, and we just turn a blind eye. And that's what this is about. And it does it in such a beautiful way and utilizes this character in a way that I really, really loved. And it utilized Gotham in a way that I really, really loved. And, Todd Phillips, a lot of people were like, this is the guy that made The Hangover. That's the big joke. But he made this beautiful film. And he makes no qualms about the fact that Scorsese helped a lot in this. Yeah, it definitely, it's a lot of 1970s visuals. I'm not gonna lie, Dell. That is what is in this, and that's part of what I really, really like about it, because I love the homage factor. Also, I think the story itself it fits, and it didn't have to be in the 70s. It could have been today, but I like the fact that it showed that dark chapter in the life of New York City. Even though it's Gotham, it is New York, and it's so beautifully recreated. My husband made a interesting point. He didn't realize, even though I did, because I love 42nd Street. I love that whole grindhouse culture and everything. He wasn't sure if it was set in the past, because towards the end, when there was um, until he saw a police car that was like this old police car that you'd see in like Starsky and Hutch. How do I explain the silent black and white movie in the theater? I was confused. It was a special screening of Charlie Chaplin, and it was a well chosen film. It was done for the Shishi Rish of Gotham for their museum. They're showing Modern Times, which is a classic Charlie Chaplin film. And what's hilarious about the choice and what's perfect, you have the Shishi Reach of Gotham watching this movie that Chaplin did specifically as a fu to modern society and how it forgets humanity, and how modern society, even back in the early or the late 20s, early 30s, was already heading towards this. We don't care about the regular man. We want money. We're gonna just work them to death, and who cares? We're the rich and powerful. They're watching this, and you have Arthur come in, and he's watching this movie with them, and he's laughing, but he has more important things going on. But it's a really nice extra helping of skewering of the high upper class in Gotham, that the whole point of the film was lost on them because they're stupid. But the comedian in the movie is smart enough to know what he's doing, and it's too smart for these guys. They're all thinking, "Oh, he's so funny. He's roller skating." The whole message of Modern Times is, um, the little guy is being destroyed by modern technology, or the higher class that are working them to death. So that was a nice little. I like their choice, and I'm a huge Charlie Chaplin fan, so it wasn't lost on me when I saw that. I was like, nice choice. Um, but let's talk about Joaquin Phoenix for a minute. So, um, Joaquin Phoenix in this, as I said, has the best eyes for Arthur Fleck, for the Joker. He has amazing eyes, and his face in this, he lost a ton of weight. He's emaciated in this, and it really adds to the face and the joke, the just. It's not even, he doesn't even need the clown makeup. That's the thing. His face is so emaciated and thin, and his eyes are huge. And he's got this way of, there's a great scene where he's being reprimanded by his boss, and there's no other thing being seen on screen while his boss is talking to him and telling him how much of a screw up he is and everything. It just closes in on Arthur's face, and in that scene, his eyes just switch on to this other place that he's seen, and without having to see it, if this makes any sense, you don't have to see what he's imagining, because you see it in his eyes and his face, and it's not pretty. It's bloody, it's brutal. He is doing some nasty shiz to his boss, but you don't see it. You just see his face while he's imagining it. And that is brilliance, and that is great acting, and that's why he is going to get nominated for an Oscar, and if he doesn't, that is bullshit. Telling you. He is just fantastic in this. He is just so great. He doesn't care. He's not he's just, he doesn't care what he looks like. He doesn't care how he comes off. He is bringing it for this role, and he just is amazing in it. And he better get nominated for an Oscar. It's not far-fetched, and it would be fantastic for the main actor playing a Joker to win, since we had a posthumous co-star win for the role. So fantastic performance, just amazing, so good. As I said, the visuals are fantastic. And then you have Robert De Niro kind of flipping the script and playing the character, a different character than the one that he played in The King of Comedy. And De Niro's great in it. It's a nice nod to what they were going for, having De Niro in the movie. But I mean, the film is just perfect for what it wanted to do, and it really is a great film. Amazing acting, beautiful. Everything's just it's great. And as I said, it's not a movie you want to take a kid to. Do not take a child to this film. It's not funny. At least it's funny, but in a dark way. Don't go into this thinking you're going to get the Jack Nicholson Joker or the Heath Ledger Joker, even though it's closer somewhat to the Ledger Joker. This is a man falling apart and rebuilding himself into something we wouldn't have wanted. And yeah, and we made him. And it's just a really dark, beautiful, brutal story, and you should check it out. And as I said, this really does represent it. I mean, I love this. Whoever made this, you did a good job. But this is it. This is broken, sad, defeated Arthur, who finds who he truly should have been, even though we really didn't need it. But this is what we made. So with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review of Joker. Comment, let me know. Hopefully I will be seeing the new Addams Family very soon. But I hope you enjoyed this review of the new Joker movie. Let me know what you think in the comments, and thanks for watching. Bye.